dugsiga boardingka iyo maalinlaha ah ee Amano Boarding and Day School.
Grade 6. Welcome to our social studies lesson. It's a video lesson about social responsibility. My name is Teacher Eric. Now, I'll be taking you through social responsibility, what it is, and what it entails. Now, social responsibility, you know very well that responsibility means something that you are entitled to do. Well, as a person living in a country, how you can relate with other people in a society. So, your work in a society, what is it? Now, the first thing that we shall be looking at is here, conflict resolution. Conflict. What is a conflict? A conflict is a fight. A conflict is a disagreement. Whenever people disagree, whenever there is a fight, that is a conflict. Now, this fight is not necessarily when people are exchanging and you know they are fighting physically. No, this fight can be exchanging words. This fight can be insulting one another. And therefore, when we talk about conflict resolution, it means how can we solve a fight? When people disagree, how can we bring them together? If one person is being beaten, how can we come in and help? So it is your work, your responsibility as a citizen, as a person living in a society, to try and get ways in which you can help people who are fighting, people who are at war, families that do not agree. How can we help them? And therefore, what we are saying that a conflict is a misunderstanding or a dispute, or rather a fight that results when two or more people do not agree with one another. In class, there are some times when you and your friend do not agree. Maybe somebody has taken your sandwich and you want to go to report to the teacher. Maybe you want to fight that person. Maybe you want to say a bad word, maybe an insult to that person, to your friend who has taken your sandwich. So that is a conflict. You see, that's a fight. Sometimes you can decide to fight that person, to beat them, which is not allowed at school. Or you may tell the prefect, or you may decide just to maybe take his sandwich in return. So that is a conflict, a fight. Whenever people do not agree, that is a conflict. It is a dispute. So other names that are used for conflict are here, as it's been said, that we have, as you can see them, we have misunderstanding, okay? We also have dispute. So these two words are used to mean conflict. They mean conflict. They are used for the same word of conflict. Whenever there's a fight, we call it conflict or dispute or misunderstanding. So how can we solve a misunderstanding or a conflict? Whenever people are fighting, how can we solve them? Or how can we help these people to come together to live in a peaceful way? Because if there is no conflict, that means there is peace. And when there is peace, people can develop, they can live well in the society. So how do we ensure? It is our work, our responsibility to ensure that people live together in peace. And we shall be looking at ways in which people can solve conflict. And before that, there's an image that I'm going to show you showing how people misunderstand. Whenever there's a misunderstanding, what you call a conflict, how does it happen? So if you look at the image here, it is showing, whoa, this one here is showing people engaging in a fight. There's one person on top of the other, and I think the person who is down is being beaten. That is a conflict. Whenever there's no peace, people might end up fighting. And therefore, the guy here on top is trying to fight the person who is down. That is a conflict. Maybe something arose. Maybe there was something bad that made them to fight. Now, how can we come in and make these people here to stop fighting? How can we ensure that these people here go back to the normal way, to the peaceful way of living? We can do that through conflict resolution by trying to help them. Well, here, conflict resolution, what does it mean? So this is a process or act of solving a conflict or a disagreement or a fight. The process of solving a conflict. In class, when people fight, and for example, you're in grade 6 and people are fighting, what do? Do you just leave them to fight? No, you can't do that. There must be something that you can do. What are you going to do? There are options. There are some various options. One, you can decide to go and report to the prefect. You can report to the class teacher. You can go and report to any other teacher who is around. Or finally, you can go to the office and report to the head teacher. Those are ways in which you can help to stop. So some of you may decide to start screaming. Some of you will come in quickly and help to separate them, to try and move them apart and tell them, no, fighting is not allowed, do not fight. Some of you, that is how you solve conflict. Remember, a conflict is a fight. It is a misunderstanding. It is a disagreement between two or more people. Friends can fight. And friends to this other person can come in and start fighting the other one. So it will eventually include many people. Now, that is a conflict. How you solve this conflict is what you call conflict resolution. Now, there are many ways in which a conflict can be resolved. You think of any? Good. I've given you examples in a class situation. So here, if you look at this one here, I think most of you may have come across this. These are boxing champions. This one here is Floyd Mayweather, and this is Manny Pacquiao. And whenever they are in a fight, you can see the person in between is trying to separate them. So you can mediate, you can come in between, in the middle of them and try to separate them. So that is how people can solve conflicts. Now, these are major ways that cause conflict among people. Now, land disputes, whenever people fight because of land, that is a conflict, is a cause of conflict. Religious or cultural beliefs. One believes that this culture is superior or better than the other, then they can begin fighting. Then there's racial segregation, or looking at one race, black and white. When the white look at themselves as superior, or maybe black look at themselves as better than the white, they'll begin a fight. Then there's the clan or the tribe hatred, which is very common in our regions. The clan, two clans or more clans can come and start fighting. That is a conflict. It's a cause of conflict. The struggle for independence is also a cause of conflict. Now, here, what is peace? Peace is the absence of war or conflict. We need people to live in peace. Those causes of conflict, if they were not there, then people would be living in peace. So when you are at peace, it means that there is no conflict. So the absence of war. And how do we solve these conflicts? There are two major ways here in which we can solve these conflicts. Among others, there are very many ways we can solve conflicts. But two major ways are here. Going to the court of law. You can go to the police and report. Then the police will take the person to the court of law. Or there is peacemaking and peacekeeping. People will come and make peace. The sultans, the village elders will come in and make peace. So class, today in our lesson, we have looked at conflict resolution. So try to look at what we've done again, is that we've said that whenever there's a fight, a dispute or a misunderstanding, that is a conflict. And ways in which we try to help people who are fighting is what we call conflict resolution. All the time, our responsibility is to try and keep peace, to try and remove this conflict. We bring peace. And what is peace? Peace means absence of war. Whenever there's no war, that's peace. We've also looked at the causes of conflict, which include the land conflicts, which include the religious conflict, the tribal conflict. Whenever there are those conflicts, whenever there are those misunderstandings, they turn into a conflict. Okay? Therefore, ways in which we can solve these conflicts, we've looked at them. Peacekeeping, going to the court of law, and maybe trying to mediate, trying to come in and help. Okay? trying to mediate. So mediation, we have negotiation and also forgiveness. You can forgive each other and say, okay, let's not continue fighting, let's just forgive each other. Or you can negotiate, you can try to talk about something that is making you to fight. You can also mediate, to come in between. So a person who is neutral, who is not a friend to any of you, will come in and talk to both of you so that you can stop fighting. Or talk to both the clans to stop fighting. That is what happens during conflict resolution. So mediation, you can see, one person is called to listen to the cause of conflict. Now, when this person listens, this person is called a mediator. In class, when you fight, for example, a prefect can come in between to try and listen to your case. This prefect is now a mediator. He comes in between and talks to both of you to stop fighting. That is a mediator. Then negotiation. Two sides discuss the matter causing the conflict. For example, one clan is fighting another clan. So elders from this clan will come and join elders from this clan. Then they start discussing, why are they fighting? Why are we fighting one another? We can end this. How can we end this? Do you need this land? Then we can share this land. Is it the cause of conflict? Then we can solve it. So that is negotiation. And that marks the end of our lesson about conflict resolution. Thank you for watching. Have a nice time.